All right, so I've been asked by a lot of fabricators if we can show a visual demonstration of the difference between a typical flowing cartridge adhesive and the no drip formula that is the SeamLock Pro. So I'm gonna take this as a typical flowing cartridge adhesive, just like you would get from many manufacturers. So I'm just gonna put a couple beads here so that you guys can see the difference. I'm gonna put this guy on here. There's one, there's two. And you can see how this is running down. The gun's kind of jamming up here, but. So you can see how on the typical flowing, where I put the adhesive, it is all sheeting down. Now I'll go ahead and swap this guy out here. And I'll go ahead and put the SeamLock Pro in here, load it up, get it kind of bled out. So this is the no drip formula, and it actually dispenses with the exact same resistance as the typical flowing, so there's no difference in how hard you have to squeeze. But now I'll put a couple beads of the no drip on here. There's one, two, I'm putting them on nice and heavy here. So there are the 3 heavy beads of the no drip. So basically you can see here, this is a completely vertical surface, a scrap piece of Corian at one of our partners here in North Texas shop. And so here's a typical flowing adhesive. So you can see if this was a vertical shower seam, or if you're doing a field seam in a customer's home, you would, by the time you start putting that adhesive in and you get all the way to the end, most of the adhesive is run down. So if you're pulling a deck seam and you put that adhesive all the way down it, that adhesive is sagged all the way down to the bottom of that adhesive and is probably even starting to drip into your cabinets. Now in theory, you should have a strap underneath that seam, so the strap would be catching all of your adhesive, but the majority of the adhesive that you guys have put along that field seam has dripped right out of the edge. Whereas if you guys look at the no drip formula, it is staying pretty much right where you put it. So if you have that field seam and you're putting the adhesive right down one edge, or you have a vertical shower seam, it's not gonna all be running right down to the floor. The no drip formula is going to stay right where it is. And so you can see the typical flowing formula is definitely running down the sheet there. So both solutions are right. You can get SeamLock, which is a typical flowing adhesive, or you can get Big Dog Adhesive SeamLock Pro, which is the no drip. So really just 2 different formulations. They both perform exactly the same. The cartridge adhesives are all gonna have the same strength. They have the same UV rating, they're UV stable. The cartridge adhesives are a best in class, but you've got the SeamLock, which is the flowing, and you've got the SeamLock Pro, which is the no drip. So if you guys have not tried the no drip, I really think you guys are gonna like it. It's a game changer when it comes to vertical seams and pulling field seams and deck seams in a customer's home, because you're not gonna have to worry about the adhesive running all over the place like you do with the flowing. So if you haven't tried it, give me a shout. Love to give you guys a demo and see how you like it. Talk to you soon.